Next thing that we wanted to talk about, and this is the epic trolling that I love it. Kotkaniemi of the Montreal Canadiens signs an offer sheet with the Carolina Hurricanes, and just the pettiness around all of this is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it was amazing.
Okay, so just to give you an idea of all the numbers in this offer sheet. Okay, so the offer sheet is for way more than Kotkaniemi is worth. All right, so it's 6.1 million is way too much.
It's more, but you're stealing a guy, so you're gonna have to pay more.
That's the point. That's exactly the point. I was gonna mention that though. Oh, there's Binks. Hi, Binks. But at the end of the deal, it's actually 6.1 million and $15. Okay, and this $15 million could possibly be in reference to the fact that Sebastian Aho was, might have been signed, $20. So sorry, I'm getting the numbers mixed up. But I'll get my facts right here in just a second. Let one of y'all talk. But the $20 signing bonus, okay? Mm-hmm. When I saw that, I was just like, what does that have to do with anything? And then I think it was Puck Media Friendly or something on Twitter, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so Sebastian Aho wears number 20. He wears number 20.
Yeah.
And some people who might not understand the backstory behind this, okay? A couple years ago, the Montreal Canadiens tried to poach Sebastian Aho from the Carolina Hurricanes. And they sent in
offer sheet the exact same way.
Carolina
Hurricanes.
Right. They tried to poach Aho from them. And Carolina didn't even hesitate once. Not once. And they immediately matched it, and everything was fine and dandy. And then this comes.
I think they did 2 offer sheets on it.
Really?
That's what I remember.
Maybe, but either way, they retained his services. So Sebastian Aho stayed with the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, Carolina decided to do this, and then just Twitter went ballistic. Some people saying that the Carolina Hurricanes, this is a trash organization because they did this, and even though they're trying to get a player for real, because obviously they're not going to give somebody $6.1 million. But the fact that they added all of these little, hints to, and, kind of picking fun at the Montreal Canadiens that they're a trash organization.
And it's so on brand. It's so on brand. It's amazing. For the bunch of jerks to do a $20 signing bonus, that is amazing. It makes me so happy. And that's why the Carolina Hurricanes are my Eastern Conference team, because they are beautiful souls who deserve to be protected at all costs.
Right, and Carolina. And we need more of stuff like this in hockey. This makes it so much more interesting in the offseason when we have stuff like this.
It's hilarious.
I mean, I love this. I love this so much. Dad, what do you think?
I appreciate your explaining this to me because I did not know this. So the background that you gave was very helpful for me.
Oh, it's a complete troll job.
It's
absolutely complete troll job.
I love it.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's fun.
Oh, and then not only did they go and tweet little hints and kind of make everybody realize no, they really did this on purpose. But if you go and look at their Twitter profile, right? Okay, so when you go and look at their Twitter profile. If you look at their
we're hearing some extra background, Ryan. I apologize.
It's okay. If you go and look at the tagline and right underneath their name, they've put the official club, the official Carolina Hurricanes club or whatever, but they put it in French. And then they took the original post of them talking about signing Kotkaniemi to an offer sheet and also put that in French. So that they can make sure that the people of Montreal knew, everybody in Montreal knew.
They were just being nice. The translate feature on Twitter doesn't always work, So
right, I just
being kind people is what it is.
I just cannot believe that they did that. It's absolutely hilarious, and I just want to see more of that. And for for the Carolina Hurricanes social media team, whoever runs that account is and always will be the greatest social media manager in the history of forever. Just all the facts that they do, and they're constantly trolling everybody, and they've always got great content that they put up. So hopefully the new Stars social media manager Courtney will be something like that. And I've enjoyed the stuff she's put on so far for the Stars content. So anyways, to get let's get past the trolling stuff a little bit. So if the way that offer sheets work is that if a player is a restricted free agent, all right, they can sign an offer sheet with a team. That does not automatically mean that they go to that team. Okay, they still belong as property of their former club. So in this case, Kotkaniemi is still property of the Canadiens. All right, but if he signs the sheet that if the Montreal Canadiens accept the sheet as it is, that means that he would then become property of the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, what Carolina has to give in return, in retribution for signing Kotkaniemi, is a first-round pick and a third-round pick. I don't know what year it would be exactly. I believe it would be the corresponding year, so the upcoming year.
I'm pretty sure it is the upcoming year.
Yeah. Okay, so it is the upcoming year. So they would have to give up a first and a third. So the big question right now, and they have until Friday at 5 p.m. to decide if they will take that first round and third round pick, or they will match the offer sheet and sign Kotkaniemi to that $6.1 million contract. If you're Mark Bergevin, the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, Chris, what do you do?
It's hard to sign him for that much money, but I mean, a 21-year-old guy who shows that much potential, that's also very hard to let go. So I'm glad I'm not in that position, pretty much, is what I'm going to say. I would let him go for that much. It's just too much money, but that's a bad position to be in.
Yeah, Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, young guy. If he's really worth that much, I mean, they're willing to pay him. What's their cap situation look like, right?
Yeah, the issue is right now he's not worth that much. Pretty obviously, he's not worth 6 point whatever right now, but he very well could be in the near future because of how much better he was this year, and he's still only a 21-year-old guy, and he's built like somebody who could be really good too. He's 6'2" and he's only 200 pounds. He could bulk up a lot more, and he could. There's lots of places where he could get better in his game too.
So how good a play is this? I mean, are they pushing Montreal past their cap and stopping them from being able to sign somebody else, or what are they playing that?
I didn't look at their cap. Or? Do you know, Ryan?
I do. I don't know their exact cap situation, but I do know that they did not allocate this amount of money for Kotkaniemi. I think they might have allocated like $3.5 million, about maybe $4 million at most, to give to Kotkaniemi. So I don't think that was in their plans at all to, give him $6.1 million.
What would they have to give up to do that, right? So that then becomes the real question for the GM is what's the cost of that? Who are you going to have to take it away from?
Yeah, and Montreal has so many questions right now. I mean, I know that they just came off of a Stanley Cup final appearance, but we know now that Carey Price may or may not start the season. It most likely he will, but may or may not. Shea Weber doesn't look like he's returning to hockey at all. That's what I've heard and seen from almost all the media personalities I've listened to. And he's a huge loss. I mean, you can't replace Shea Theodore unless you go out and get, some crazy. Yeah, it would really suck for him to go out, at the top level and not get the Stanley Cup. But that may be it. I don't think he's coming back. But let me put a little bit more drama into the situation here. So what I've read and what I've heard on this Kotkaniemi situation is that he was really not happy with the fact that he was scratched several times in the playoffs. And Dominic Ducharme, made that decision, thinking that, to try and go with a more veteran lineup. And you could argue either way that it could be wrong or right or whatever, but either way, Kotkaniemi did not like that. And the rumor behind it and the report behind it was that he thought that he had played his last game as a member of the Montreal Canadiens. So that's how this is a very different situation than the Sebastian Aho situation. Sebastian Aho, I think he was tired of dealing with all the contracts and stuff like that, and he knew that he was so valuable that whatever contract or offer sheet he signed, that Carolina would match it immediately because he's that good of a player. He's young. He's got a lot of potential. I don't think he wanted to leave Carolina either. He just used Montreal to get what he wanted. I don't think that's the case here. With Kotkaniemi, I think he really, really actually does want to go to Carolina and leave Montreal. So with that little bit of extra drama in there, what's your thoughts on some of that stuff?
Yeah, if that's true, then that pretty much solidifies it, in my opinion. Then there's no way they're signing that offer sheet.